Notes on my floor, plans that I drew, every red line pulling me from you. I chased every road till the roads ran out. Now it's cracked dry ground and a quiet doubt. But in the still, I hear you call my name through the static of my shame. You're my true north when the compass bends, when the night pulls hard and the dark creeps in. You cut through the noise with love that won't move. Jesus, you're the center. Every road comes back to you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to True North Christian Media. My name is Matt,
I'm Kyle.
I'm Vince.
and we are glad that you're with us on this Tuesday evening. Hope everybody's had a good first half of the week, and yeah, we're glad that you're with us. So, how's everybody's day been today? Kyle, I know we've been talking, and I know your day's been kind of, Air Force-y and stuff. So, there's that.
It's so hot. It's
Yeah.
so hot in Michigan right now.
It was. It didn't feel very good here today either. I wasn't real pleased. I had to be outside quite a bit today, putting concrete blocks down. Because after I worked out this morning, went to Home Depot, got concrete blocks, came home, put those out. Quickly realized that the pad that I made, I think it settled a little bit, so it was off. So we had to bring the tractor back out, re-level everything. Then I drove my truck over it a bunch of times to pack it in, and then they came and delivered it at about 1:30, and they were there till about 3:34 because they had their dolly, the dolly that they use to bring them in. It like pushes up against the wall and it lifts it up and it like anchors itself to it. Well, the winch cable snapped, so they had to do a repair on that machine as the shed's just sitting on the trailer like this. So we had to bring the tractor over, lift the thing up, this arm out of the thing, and hold it up so they could repair the cable, put it back together, and then they had to finagle it into where I wanted. So it was a pretty long ordeal today, but it's there. And only a little bit of the bottom got messed up as it was being unloaded, so I can take that. We'll just throw some silicone in it and then put Flex Seal over it, and it'll be good to go.
Dude,
But
kind of reminds me of mine and the fact that it took forever to get it here, and then once it was here, the guy's stuff broke down, and we had to really mess with it for a while.
yeah, it was a. Who brought yours? Was it a company?
Oh, it's a local yokel
Oh,
who
gotcha.
does this on the side, which is who installed it originally at the guy, where the guy at the guy's place whom we bought it from.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
that's who he recommended. It was like, okay, whatever. And
Hmm.
his stuff broke down, so that, I feel for you
But
on that bit.
I mean, they got it out and got it set up. So I went in there today and quicker. It looked a lot bigger the first time I went in it, and I'm starting to. It's not that big. Like, I mean, there's not as much space now that I've seen it again as I thought there was, and I'm like, oh yeah, the big TV in this thing is gonna be ridiculous. So like now I'm even tempted to see if I can get one that will fill the whole wall. Like, if that's gonna already be ridiculous, then why not do it the right way and just be as big as possible?
Go big or go home.
That's right. We don't do anything half done.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's either
Why-
all
why-
in or why even be there?
Yeah. Why give yourself 2.5 feet on both sides?
That's what I'm saying.
Who needs that 2.5 feet?
If you could fill up those like, what are you gonna do with that 2.5 anyway? Like, what? Put a small shelf there?
Speakers.
I'm building that into the walls.
He's
Wall,
already thought of that.
walls and ceiling are getting speakers.
You should put hydraulics on it too, so that while you pump that bass, you can make it go.
You know, it's not gonna have that.
I want to see the quality of soundproofing you're gonna have in this place. That's
So
Guys,
the
my
flo-
shed's a low
I
rise.
I looked underneath it today, and you ought to see the floor insulation they put in that stuff. Like, it's fantastic. So it's got floor insulation. We're doing R13 in all the walls,
Mhm.
and then I think R13 in the ceiling too. And then I'm gonna have sound deadening panels on some walls, and I'm gonna board up over all the windows. I don't want any windows in this thing. I want it to be 100% lighting controlled. And then I'm gonna put dark shutters over the door because it's got a big piece of glass in it, which I'm not a fan of. Like, I don't want natural light. I want artificial light.
Why not just like tint it?
No, because
Put 95% up in there.
if I board over it, then I have another usable wall that I don't have to worry about a window.
It's those windows. He's gonna get pulled over way more.
Yeah, man. I've been pulled
I'm
over
gonna
so
keep
many
going with
times.
this premise.
Are we
the-
pimp my riding Matt's shed right now?
Dude,
yeah.
it's turning into it.
I love you, Matt.
Yeah. So I mean, like, honestly, it's not going to be that spectacular. It's just kind of 2 recliners, a big TV, sound system, and a desk for content, and then another desk for reloading, and then another desk for podcast stuff. So, yeah.
I got my flooring finished up in my shed
Nice.
today.
Nice.
I miscalculated and did not have enough, so I had to go buy 2 more cases
Oh,
of flooring. So
speaking
that
of
was
which,
nice.
I went to Home Depot to look at that flooring today. It was an on-sale item. It was on sale for 99 cents. It's not originally 99 cents. So the stuff
Okay,
that is 99 cents does not have the rubber, but it was right next to the pile that is 99 cents, and it was on sale from $1.99 to $1.99 for the weekend of
didn't see
July
that.
4th. Yeah. That's when I went and looked at it. It was during the 4th of July sale, and it was on sale, and I was like, "Oh, perfect." And then I went in there today, and I was like, "Oh, wait, why is this $1.99?"
I would have gone with whatever color for half price. Like, I would not have cared. I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
Because I would have bought that.
Yeah. Hey, Danella, how are you, ma'am? Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. I'm glad that you're with us, as always. Yeah. So, needless to say, I'm like, okay, well, I'm still gonna go the 99-cent route, and I'm just gonna, and you can get really good sound deadening floor underlayment. So, it's getting that. Because I want it to be as soundproof as possible. Like, I don't want any echoes. I want it to sound like it does here. So, that same quality. And it's going to be really hard to replicate in such a big area. Unless you do the sound deadening panels correctly. Yeah. Anyway.
I do have a story to start off tonight.
Oh, let's hear the story.
And it kind of plays into what we have going on tonight and what we discussed last night. So this morning, woke up, and every single morning, the first thing I do is shave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that kind of bites me in the butt a little bit because I still have, like, the eye goopers and my eyes are burning every once in a while, and it's just absolutely a nightmare. But this morning, in particular, this eye was just puffy. It was red. I couldn't keep it open. It was just burning every time, and I'm just razoring my face while I'm just trying to keep my eyes open, right? And it got really frustrating to the point that, like, it was louder in my head, but I just kind of whispered like Lord. And as soon as I said that, pain went away. I can't. Like, I mean, obviously, like, I kind of describe it, but at the time I was like, okay. fair enough. Like I was able to open up my eyes. I had no pain. Like it was still like red, puffy, so on and so forth. But there was like absolutely no pain. I was just able to get through the rest of it. Absolutely no problem. But in that moment, I was like, fair enough. Fair enough. I talked a lot about like discouragement and
I was about to ask how that plays
like
into
yeah.
discouragement, because that would encourage me, if anything.
Well, no, and like the split mindedness and
Oh, the
having
double-minded thing.
yeah.
Oh,
Talked about like a lot about that last night, and yeah, he heard.
gotcha.
He heard and reaffirmed.
I mean, okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around the double-mindedness and the point of this story. So, did you think that he couldn't do that, or?
Well, like we were talking about last night, like how like Vincent and all of us and like playing into that, is all of this, really true? Like having those
Oh,
moments
I
of
got you.
doubt
Yeah.
and having that split mindedness of sometimes just being unsure of it all,
Mm.
and needing the reaffirmation, needing that,
That little poke that's like, "Hey, I'm still God."
yeah, that hey, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, here's
okay.
your eye, goober.
Like,
Uh,
oh, that's funny. No, that's good though.
yeah,
I mean,
it's a great way to start the morning.
yeah.
Great way to start the morning.
Oh,
Why you
I
sitting
don't
there
miss those
one
days
do trick?
of having to shave every morning. Oh, it was the
I
worst.
see. I don't mind it.
Mm.
The only times I mind it is specifically when it's 98 degrees outside with a heat index of 106 with 100% humidity, and you just have that sweat in on the neck, and it just burns because you have like
Yeah.
the shave burn, whatever it's called, razor burn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only part that kills me.
So for years and years and years, I used the same shaving cream. I always have.
Mhm.
Like ever since I was in basic, it was that Barbasol sensitive skin foam shaving cream. That's what I always used. And when I shave my head, that's what I use as well. But I
Mhm.
found something better, and it's cheaper,
Mhm.
and it works way better.
Oh.
It's a oh man, it's a lotion of some sort. I use lotion now because all you need is a barrier between the blade and your scalp,
Skin. Mhm.
and it creates a amazing, amazing shave. Like
See, I
fantastic.
tried that, like like the
E40.
shave conditioner that you can
Mm,
put like after on your face after you're done. I tried using that. That made it so much worse.
yeah.
So much worse.
No.
So,
Yeah.
I don't,
I'll
well, I mean,
send you the
I
lotion. It's for severe hand cracking and dry
oh, that's not gonna
skin.
work for me.
It will.
That's not gonna work
It's
for me.
extra
It won't.
moisturizing.
I'm all. Do you see the shine? I'm
No,
already
I
super
know, but
greasy as it is.
I know, but what I'm saying is it's extra moisturizing, and it creates a better barrier for shaving. Is what I'm saying. It does
So
it does a really good job.
I'm a diehard fan for Harry's. Sorry.
No, well,
I mean, you can send me what to use, and I'll give it a try. But Harry's hasn't let me down yet.
that and like when you get older, now you get a nice, beautiful gray beard, and you don't have to shave
Just
your
rub it in.
face anymore
Just rub it in.
because you're
Trust
not
me,
in the military no more.
I look at both of your absolute magnificent beards every single night. Trust me, you don't need to remind me.
Well, I'm going to from now on. I'm gonna be like, hey, have you checked out my beard today? Do you wish you could have it?
Oh, by the time I'm out, it's just gonna be. I'm just gonna have like 3 hairs, and they're just gonna be scraggly. I'm
You
not
know,
gonna pull it off.
we
Anymore.
were talking about Weber a minute off stream. Have you ever seen what he looked like when he got out of the military? Go to his Facebook page and look him up. He looked like a wizard. Like, dude, his beard was like down to here, and like I think he went as a wizard for Halloween or something. And like he's in this like Merlin the wizard outfit, and his beard is like
That's
down
amazing.
to dude, wild to see. Oh man. Well, gentlemen,
I can't add anything. I haven't shaved since 2014. So
have you not? It just has it stunted at that length, or do you
I
trim it?
trim it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I had the
That's
same
what I was
mindset.
asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, I
that,
just thought like that's just the length. It just stays that glorious all the time. You don't have to do
just
anything
naturally like this time.
to it.
mm.
It naturally forms into a bowl so that I can eat soup out of it.
See, I would love for you to join those like the trends where you just randomly shave it all off just to see just remind yourself of how you
No,
look.
I don't need that
No, I-
reminder.
No, no. See, the problem is I'll have that like reverse Batman thing going on because like, this area has not gotten sun, and this area has gotten a lot of sun. So,
Mhm.
it's not that I have a tan. I don't. I have freckles that have formed and started to like morph together, and so there will be a line where there's the sun spots, and below it, white, and I'll look strange.
See, I want to see it more now.
I have to have this for a chin. Literally, there's a picture of a mouse that has no hair. That's what I look like when I shave. Like my chin
Oh,
is so tiny, and I use
you have
this
like
to make it big.
chicken neck.
Not
You have like
chicken
you have the
neck.
neck. Your neck comes like right up to your chin, and then it just goes
No,
straight into the
like
face.
you can see like the shape of my chin. It's pretty defined, but the problem is like
Okay.
the distance between my bottom lip and my chin is right there. Like it curves right there. And I
Uh,
look like a hairless mouse when I shave. I'm like, oh yeah.
see, I was like this.
Yeah, see, mine.
Mm.
I know I'm not even gonna go into that.
I love the gray. I'm so happy it's coming in. Oh.
You don't,
All right, let's
you
get
don't call
rolling.
it silver? Oh, okay.
What's that?
No, I said, y'all, you don't call it silver. You're just accepting. You're just accepting it's
Oh
gray.
no, I love the gray. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
It's like I'm a silver.
I'm a silver fox. I saw a thing today that kind of made me chuckle. It's and I actually want it. It's a patch. It's a military patch. It says 15% stud, 85% muffin. I was like, man, I want this patch.
I got Lauren a patch for her backpack that says "You had me at tacos."
I love those patches, man.
Oh, I saw a terrible running challenge.
Hmm?
I saw a terrible running challenge that they've done. So it's like those endurance races where you do like a lap an hour, and you have time in between. Except this is it's like a beer run, except it's tacos. Like every lap you have to eat a taco, and the last person to quit wins.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that all day.
Yeah, do you want to run a mile and then eat a taco and have to keep going and run another mile and eat another
No,
taco?
if it was a quarter,
Absolutely.
if it was a lap around a track and I got a taco every time I went around it, I might run. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say like I'm in.
You have to eat the taco before you do
Okay.
another lap. So it's like you're overeating and having to run on like a full stomach.
okay,
I-
let's
I-
define
I need
where the
this-
taco come from. Like, is it
Well,
good
no.
tacos or is it Taco Bell tacos?
It depends on different events. They'll say like they have them in different places, so the tacos change. So it's different tacos.
I
You might end
need
up with Taco Bell.
I need clarification. Is it soft shell or hard shell? Because if it's hard
that
shell, I'm
matters
out.
too. Yep.
I'm out. If it's soft shell, 100%
Yeah.
sign me up. I want to come down and do that.
Eat the taco, you baby.
Dude, eating glass shards as you're running.
About to say
absolutely not.
details matter. Also, corn tortillas will dry your mouth out faster than the
Yep,
flour
I
ones.
like flour.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not getting y'all to do this anyway, so I don't know why you're even.
We're gonna do it on our own. We'll
Yeah, I was
call it the
gonna
walk.
say-
Every lap we get, we're gonna eat a taco.
I'm mad with True North
never-
back with another walking taco.
You know
'Cause
what?
Here's where you messed up. You never said that there was a minimum time that we had to eat meat before we could get tacos.
That's what I'm saying. As long as we complete the lap, we get a
As long
taco.
as we complete the lap.
So I'm there. I'm like,
We're gonna be huffing and puffing the entire time, but hey,
Kyle, when you come
we'll
down,
get
we're doing this. We're gonna walk with a box of
yes.
Taco Bell tacos, and every lap we're just gonna eat one, and we're gonna record the whole thing. It's gonna be awesome.
I bet y'all gonna die.
I'm game. I'm down. I want to do this. That sounds
On
amazing.
Jackpot tacos.
I'm gonna introduce this to my base as like a morality event. I'll start the Alpina Taco Marathon.
All right, let's get rolling. Tonight's devotional is playing off of last night's devotional as far as the topic of discouragement goes, but tonight's is called The Outcome of Discouragement. It says, how we respond to disappointment shapes how we experience God's faithfulness. And we're going to be looking at Psalm 40, 1 through 3, and Hebrews 2, 1 tonight. So let me switch over to the Bible. And Psalm 41 through 3, whenever you're ready.
I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He drew me up from the pit of destruction, out of the miry bog, and set my feet upon a rock, making my steps secure. He put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord.
When it says he inclined to me, is that he turned his ear to me? Like that kind of phrasing?
Maybe, but let me see what the NASB says.
That's how I heard. That's how I, because I mean, like when, like incline.
I just think like he inclined to me, like meaning he turned his ear towards me or his attention or something like that.
No, I was gonna say addressed.
Let's see, this is the Hebrew.
What we do? NLT.
Yeah, might as well see what it says. He turned to me. So basically, he turned his attention to him. Okay.
The Hebrew word here is apparently something that's akin to spread out, stretch out, extend, to be bent, to be caused to bend, to turn aside. Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough. Kyle, Hebrews 2:1, please.
Therefore, we must pay much closer attention to what we have heard, lest we drift away from it.
Okay. Tonight's devotional says discouragement is a common problem. As we saw yesterday, it may start with a divided mind, but can easily turn into blaming others and giving way to anger. Sadly, its effects don't stop there. When disappointments pile up without resolution, our relationships suffer. If we see the one who disappointed us as the source of all of our troubles, we may distance ourselves or even end the relationship altogether. Unresolved disappointment can also damage our sense of self-worth over time. The most serious consequence is spiritual drift. When discouragement takes hold, the Lord can seem distant or uncaring, not because he's withdrawn, but because we've built walls around ourselves. Then things that were once cornerstones of our faith, worship, Bible study, prayer, can easily fall by the wayside. Don't allow disappointments to build up and take such a toll on your life. Psalm 40, verse 2, offers a beautiful reminder that the Heavenly Father can lift you out of difficult places and set your feet on solid ground. When you're feeling discouraged, turn to the Lord. He is the one who can put a new song in your mouth, a song of praise to him. Let your struggle become an opportunity to experience his faithfulness in a deeper way. Okay. So, I mean, we were looking at kind of the same, I can't remember what last night's was titled, but we're looking at more of the outcome of what discouragement can look like in our life if not addressed, like if not paid attention to, or cared for. And do y'all have thoughts ready to go, or do y'all need some time?
Yeah, I got something loaded.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
So, in the third paragraph here, when discouragement takes hold, the Lord can seem distant or uncaring, not because he's withdrawn, but because we've built walls around ourselves. So, my wife and I, we were talking about a different subject, but we were talking about how God does not always share with us why, like the capital W Y of every situation. Even about his word, we don't always have the why, but we do have his will. He does share his will with us. So he doesn't share the why, but he does share his will. And if we a lot of times, during tough situations, we can get caught up in our own why. And that leads us to our own will and not paying attention to his. And, he doesn't share with us everything. We always don't know why we go through trials. We don't know why bad things happen to what we would call good people. Why bad things happen to believers. Why is it that we have to suffer to be his children? That's something that Christians are told to expect. Expect to be persecuted in the name of the Lord. Now, we are told that there's a number of, there's good reasons for it, right? That there's good things that happen in us that gives us an opportunity for obedience. But there's a real question that some people run up against, and that's why does it have to be that way? That's that capital W Y, and that's a difficult thing to wrestle with. But we have faith and we trust in him, and we wait for our why. That's something I often tell my children, like, obey first. You can ask me why later. Because I have at least one who will, he'd stand in front of a speeding train and I'd tell him to move and he would go, why? Because he wants to know first. Sometimes it's a warning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was looking, as you were sitting there talking, um, there's a verse in Hebrews 12. I think it's Hebrews 12. It talks about bitterness, I believe. And I feel like this is the beginning, like that first domino in the effect of what discouragement, how it starts, right? I think let me see if I can find it. Here it is. It's Hebrews 12:15. It says, "See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, and that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled." Like, it's talking about in here, like in that second paragraph, where it says, if we see the ones who disappointed us as the source of our troubles, like, to me, that's a bitterness. Um, and it's like that bitterness takes root and then kind of domino effects into a bunch of different branches here. But um, it, it feels like it doesn't always just have to begin with a major crisis. It can be small things that, if left unaddressed, like a bitterness towards somebody, or whatever that is, it can be very small that grows into something very large. And I think that verse in Hebrews, see to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. I think that's a good warning about the dangers of the topic that we're talking about.
There's a bit about that we can see practically in life,
Hmm.
and that's in. Can y'all hear the yelling child?
It's okay.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Bitterness.
Mm.
Holding on to bitterness in your marriage, and how it's actually not the couples who don't ever fight that are really in danger of splitting. It's those or no, it is those who don't ever fight who are really in danger of splitting. It's people who don't address issues. It's when you don't deal with the problems that you're having and learn to do it in a productive way. It's not necessarily the yelling and screaming, and you can do a whole number of things wrong that way, but also if you're not addressing things at all, that's another dangerous place to be in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kyle, what you got, brother?
So in the second paragraph too, like we keep going back to that one, but the one that stood out to me is the unresolved disappointment can also damage our sense of self-worth over time. And I feel like I touched on a lot of that last night. I don't need to repeat, but having it actually in front of me and actually reading that, it's like, okay, it's recognition is a huge part of healing, right? And reading that and rereading that, it's like, trying to absorb that of, the unresolved disappointment. So, picking up where I need to step forward. But the second to last sentence in the last paragraph there, when you're feeling discouraged, turn to the Lord. He is the one who can put a new song in your mouth, a song of praise to him. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's if you're feeling discouraged, he can, don't get me wrong, he can, but it's not that he's going to fix your problems. It's not that he's going to make your life, flowers, rainbows, sunshine, and just absolute, stress free.
Mm-hmm.
It's turning your eyes back to him
Mm-hmm.
and praising him, recognizing him.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to relieve you of that discouragement. It's not what you're in. It's not the struggles that you're dealing with, like Vincent said, it's not the trials that you're dealing with. It's where your eyes are pointed. It's where your heart is facing.
Yeah.
And you just need to be realigned.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
However, going back to what you were saying, Vince, I had a question. When you were saying like the sometimes we don't understand the big W, why we suffer, why we have to go through the trials, why we have to go through the persecution, X, Y, and Z. I'm curious, is it because of the fact that if everything was absolutely perfect on this side of the fence, if we had zero problems, if we had zero persecution, all you had to do was become a Christian and your life would just be absolutely perfect, would people come to this side of the fence for the wrong reasons? Is that the big W, why we face the trials, we face the tribulations, we face everything that we as Christians are expected to face?
I mean, a going theory, the idea is that if we lived in a world like that, then that would be a world where it would be obvious and undeniable that at where God was and what he would have people do, and there would be no use in choosing that. See, the idea is that from original sin, from the fall, sin came into the world. And that if there had never been a fall, then it would likely be some very much like that, except there would be no one on the other side. But that's all speculation. And that the idea of choosing God matters. Choosing Christ matters because it's from that free choice that we are actually turned to be his, but also remain individual selves. Because in a world that was just where it was undeniable, then there would be no point. We would just be toys. We would be mechanical objects being turned off and on. There would be no spiritual growth towards a belief in something and a believing and turning our wills to his, that what he wants for us is correct, and aligning our wills with his and ourselves with his. And that's why we spend time like harping on, that we are trying to become like Christ. as well as understanding that we are saved by grace alone, that these works don't actually achieve our salvation. That is bought already. But the change in us from that salvation drives us on to try and be more like the creature worth saving.
Well put.
Then
Did I answer your question? I'm not. Sometimes
Yes.
I get off
Yes.
stream
Yes.
of consciousness and I forget if I actually strayed off course.
So I mean, all in all, if we were all Christians, because on this side of the fence everything would be perfect, it would eliminate the choice of free will.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
I've also heard the argument too that we've never had free will to begin with. That Adam and Eve were the last people to have truly a free will, just because of sin, right? Like when sin entered the world, the free will, so to speak, was no longer available. The truly free will that God intended us to have. Which is kind of I've heard this a couple of times from different people, but I've never dove completely into it to the point of like, to me it doesn't matter. Like I know that I have a sinful flesh and I have a spirit. You know what I mean? Like that's what I know about me. But there is a verse in Psalm 34:18 that says the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. So, we were talking about going to him, like that last sentence there, or in that last paragraph of, when you're feeling discouraged, turn to the Lord. He is the one who can put a new song in your mouth and a song of praise to him. And that verse, it says, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. So I think that's a good promise that we can go back to, or a verse that we can go back to in those times of discouragement, in those times of, you know, maybe being crushed in the spirit because we've, from the weight of, a situation that's occurred or somebody that's let us down or, whatever it is, family problems, marital problems, there's a lot of things that can crush our spirits, that can discourage us. In this day and age, it's not hard to look around and find something that could crush you. And but to know that that verse is there, to know that the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit, I think is a reassuring verse that we can always turn back to.
I think there's something about that too, that you don't have to be you don't have to be having the worst day of your life for that to be true.
Mm-hmm.
You can be crushed in spirit over a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's days that I could probably say that I feel, looking back now, that applies. But I'll convince myself that it doesn't because, well, it could be worse, It could be worse. I've had worse days.
Mm.
And I know which ones they are. But just because I remember those days doesn't mean that there's not other days where I will be crushed in spirit.
Yeah.
Over smaller things.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean that not crushed in spirit, because it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also like it's cool to see in this verse where, God doesn't shame discouraged believers. He meets them where they are. And like that's such a beautiful thing. It says he's near to the brokenhearted. How many people in our lives are near to us when we're brokenhearted? Like he is to us. Like to me, that's showing that he's not shaming us. That's not him pushing us away. That's not him, outcasting us or disowning us or all these different things. He's just meeting us where we are in that moment of discouragement, in that moment of brokenness that, um, just that period of life that we're in. Professional Zach says that reminds me of a saying: God doesn't give you more than you can handle, which I think is kind of wrong. I believe sometimes He gives us more than we can handle, so we turn to Him. And I don't. Is that biblical? That quote that God never gives us more than we can handle.
if I recall correctly, I mean, I know you're looking it up right now, but
Hmm.
I've come to understand that is like the surface level popular Christian idea of what God does for us. I mean, that's like the Facebook Christian saying, like, God's not going to give you more than you can handle. So, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, go do something about it. And there's a little bit to that,
Mm.
understanding when you're supposed to be the hands and feet and not, the one stuck in the pit and needs to be pulled out.
Hmm.
But we do have to acknowledge that, yeah, we are given more than we personally individually can handle, so that we have to turn to him. We have to turn to our fellow believers. We have to be a community. We have to love each other.
Yeah, that phrase is not in the Bible, but it says it often stems from a misinterpretation of 1 Corinthians 10:13, and in 10:13 it says God is faithful and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. So there's a difference between giving you more than you can handle or putting situations in your life that may feel just unbearable versus, being tempted. So he won't let you be tempted beyond your ability. Um and continuing that verse, it says, but with the temptation he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it. So there's not anything saying like God will he won't give you more than you can handle, except when we talk about temptation. Like that is where um you know I think that's probably where people get that misconstrued. um
Like, Grandma, I have a ruptured appendix. I really do need help.
yeah. um So there's a note in here that says, according to 2 Corinthians 1:8-9, the Apostle Paul faced overwhelming pressure far beyond our ability to endure, and that's in quotation marks. So I'm gonna make sure that that is actual quotation, 1:8-9.
We've learned our lesson.
Yeah.
Second Corinthians?
First, yeah, 2 Corinthians 1:8-9, and let's see, far beyond our ability to endure. So it says, For we do not want you to be unaware, brothers, of the affliction we experienced in Asia, for we are so utterly burdened beyond so we are so utterly burdened beyond our strength that we despaired of life itself. So I don't think that the saying that God doesn't give us, or that God doesn't give us more than we can handle, I think that I don't know if that's particularly true.
Going further, indeed, we felt that we had received the sentence of death, but that was to make us rely not on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead.
Yeah.
He delivered us from such a deadly peril, and he will deliver us.
Yeah.
On him we have set our hope that he will deliver us again.
Yeah. So I mean,
He
it
must also help us by prayer.
it that actually goes with what Zach said. He goes, I think this is kind of wrong. I believe sometimes he gives us more than we can handle, so we turn to him. So that's a really good point, Zach. Um, I'm with you on. I don't think that's completely accurate, but what we do know is he won't allow us to be tempted beyond what we can handle. So we'll stick with that. Um, Let me see. I had some notes for this one. I wanted to make sure
Oh, did ya?
I did. I researched some verses that I go back to Logos and then have some verses that kind of tie into the topic, just so I have some extra biblical things that we can put out. Um, and it says here that he is the one who can put a new song in your mouth, a song of praise to him. And if we look at that a couple of days ago, the story of Jehoshaphat, right? Before they sent the armies out, what did they do? They sent people out singing songs of praise. Now, imagine being in their shoes, knowing that there's armies that are wanting to come kill them, essentially. Come and kill them, essentially. But that was the first thing they sent out, was people singing songs of praise. And I think there's something, it's not. I think we often miss that um, worship could almost be the fix. Um, I think worship can fix a lot before it's a response that we have to go to. If we're worshiping, you know what I mean? Like, I think if we turn to him and we're worshiping him, I think sometimes that might be the fix, is to truly worship him in spirit and truth. Because that's what, Jesus said on to that lady. He said, one day I tell you that, you will not worship on this mountain or in this temple or whatever, but in spirit and truth, I think, is the gist of what it says in Matthew. Um, I can't remember the whole verse. Can you quote that one, Vince?
I'm looking it up.
Uh, it's the Samaritan woman at the well.
Is that in Matthew?
I believe so.
I think that's in. I think that's in John.
Yeah, John 4:21.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. John 4:21. Let's see. There we go.
Let's see if I'm right in that.
Yes.
Yep.
So it says, Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem will you worship the Father. You will worship what you do not know. We worship what we know." Okay, I'm reading this wrong. Okay, here it is. Verse 23. "But the hour is coming and is now here when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father is seeking people to worship him." There we go. Goodness, that took me a second. Um, but I think we sometimes forget about that tool in our pocket that we can turn to worship, and what that does. Like, it's a powerful weapon that we have. Um, I don't know, as far as discouragement goes, and as far as this devotional goes, yes, I understand what it's saying, as far as seeing people that may have disappointed us as the source of all of our troubles. To me, that seems a little far fetched, that one person could be the source of all of our troubles. But I guess circumstantially, like, if the trouble is like you're getting evicted from your house because, you have a bad landlord or whatever, like, that person could literally be the entire existence of all your troubles. You know what I mean? Uh, Unresolved disappointment can also damage our sense of self-worth over time. In that one, I don't. I think I might have a thought on, just in the fact that I don't know if it's self-worth or if we stop seeing our worth to him, like how much we're worth to him, and I think that's what we stop seeing. Because self-worth, I don't know if I truly buy into that. Like, I think self-worth is kind of a, um maybe, to me, in an instance, it could be prideful, like, just knowing that's like acknowledging what your worth is, but what are we worth? Like, what are we worth?
So, are you saying that a better way to put that is unresolved disappointment can damage our sense of salvation?
No, what I'm saying is I think it can hinder our thoughts of how God actually sees us
Mm,
and who we are in Him, rather
mm,
than looking at ourselves and going, you know what I mean? But I mean, I guess that
mhm,
does play into self worth, to recognize who you are and what your worth is to Christ, right? And
mhm.
you know what I mean? So I guess it does. I mean, it's just, to me, it's such a weird way to word that. I think the wording is throwing me off, because it's not a matter of your perception of your own worth. It's a matter of how you see yourself versus who God says you are and who you are to Him.
Correct.
Um, and then we've been talking for a while on, or Pastor Zach has been preaching this for a while about spiritual drift, and it picks it up here in paragraph 3. It says, when discouragement takes hold, the Lord can seem distant or uncaring, and Vincent hit on this a little bit ago. And not because He's withdrawn, but because we've built walls around ourselves. Like we isolate ourselves in those times. And that isolation period, like I've talked about this so many times, but it's one of like the greatest weapons that I think that the enemy uses, is to isolate us. Like we're not intended to be isolated. We're not intended to block out the voices that we need to hear from other people. We're not intended to isolate from God. We're not intended to be that. We're intended to have a relationship and be close to Him. So if we're isolating ourselves, because that discouragement can convince us of a lot of things, that nobody understands or nobody cares, or maybe
Nobody's going through what I'm going through right now.
or maybe I'll just deal with this alone, right? Like we get those thoughts. But again, Hebrews 10:24-25, it says, let me pull it up. I have a lot of verses in Hebrews only because I'm reading through it and I have a bunch of notes on it. 24-25 says, and let us consider how to stir one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together. So he's calling us to not neglect that. Like we need to be in fellowship with one another. I don't know. And later on in verse 25 it says, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. I just see there's a lot of things in this, like to combat discouragement. And I can see the ways that discouragement can turn into isolation, and how it distorts our perspective. It can cause spiritual drift. It can do all these things, but God never stops pursuing us in those moments. He draws near to the brokenhearted, as that verse said. So I think the more we look at that, the more we can rest assured in God's promise and God's word. But we have to know it's there. You know what I mean? And the only way we know it's there is by being in the word. Professional Zach says, right, don't compare your worth to the world or by your own understanding, but relate our worth to how He views us. I like that perspective. And honestly, that's been a hard one to kind of come to terms with, is like, we are our own worst critics. Like we judge ourselves more harshly a lot of times than what we deserve or what we should be. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just think that we can discourage ourselves in a lot of ways by doing that.
A great way to sum that up is we dig our own beds of shame. No
Yeah.
one else will dig that bed for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask a question to chat here. Let's pose this question. Have you ever noticed discouragement creeping into your life gradually rather than all at once? That seems like a fair question to ask. Has discouragement come all at once for you, or have you experienced it in a gradual, something started it and then maybe you didn't go to God with it a bit, like immediately, and then later on that has, steamrolled into full-blown discouragement? Or does it typically happen all at once for you if you do experience it? I'd love to get y'all's take. And I'll leave the question open to all of us as well, but wanted to see if I can get some chat participation up in here. You guys are kind of quiet tonight, except for professional Zach. Danelle, are you still with us? I know Kaylani is. What do you guys think? What's your view on discouragement? What are maybe some things that you've come to terms with or come to the realization of when dealing with discouragement? Yeah. What are y'all's thoughts?
One thing I've gotten, I think, better at, but also just really am coming to understand, is that the enemy will do whatever he can to discourage you at any point, especially from spending time with other believers. And if you have weaknesses, he'll exploit those weaknesses. If
Mhm.
you have strengths, he'll exploit those strengths. And just really and truly looking at how I'm feeling from a perspective of spiritual warfare.
Mm.
Because sometimes, a lot of times, I think how I'm feeling should be questioned. You know, we should question how we're feeling about ourselves.
Mhm.
We should question whether or not those feelings are valid. If they are valid, why are they valid? If if you can understand why they're valid, is it something you can change? If it's something you can't change, can you change your feelings about it?
Mm.
If it's something you can change, what can you do next?
Yeah.
You know, and it's thinking through things like that. Or if you have somebody you just you don't like, or
Mm.
you can't really connect with, ask yourself why. Is it something that I just have a feeling that I don't like the way they talk, the way they move, they give me the heebie-jeebies, you know?
Mm.
Because we all have people we meet, and it's like, I don't know why, but you give me the wrong vibes.
Mm.
And being able to ignore your, you know, not ignore, but question things like that, where, because I've experienced what I really think was a concerted effort to drive my family away from other people
Mm.
that we were supposed to be connecting with. I've seen that happen. People that were good, godly people that there was no reason why we shouldn't be talking to them, but actually, my wife and I both had just a feeling,
Mm.
and it took time of us going back and trying and realizing that no, that was just a feeling. That was a weird, strange concurrence of feeling. And later, I really thought I've come to believe that yes, that was the enemy trying to keep us away from friends,
Mm.
people who were to be our friends.
Yeah.
Can't trust the heart. The heart's deceitful
Mm-hmm.
above all things. Finished it.
Look at you go. So proud of you.
Thanks, buddy.
Good job.
I like that speech on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where he's like sitting there. I'm so proud of you. like that's all I could think of. Like I wish Mr. Rogers. Like I need a clip of Mr. Rogers saying that. That way, when you do things like that again, bring it up on the screen. I'm so proud of you. Look how far you've come. Kaylani says it has for sure slowly crept in before. If I start feeling overwhelmed and discouraged, I try to work it out on my own, and it slowly gets worse until I finally find myself turning to God for His help. And isn't that crazy? That how like, and let me ask this as a follow up question: like, how many times have you experienced the same situation, and then you look back on it and you're like, I turn to God, like God's the last thing that I turn to. And I do this over and over and over. And then there's always a point to where we finally go, "Oh yeah, I've done this so many times. I need to do this. I need to go to God first and not last." You know what I mean? uh, I wonder like what the learning process looks like for some people. Like, is it? Because I know for me, it's the same way. Like, I know that in my struggles and my things that I deal with, that it's, you know, sometimes I try to white knuckle it myself, and then I end up turning to God. And then I finally just kinda, like, release it all to him, like, "Oh god, I'm so tired. I'm trying. I'm trying, I'm out of breath, and I can't do anymore." Like, that's how it feels when I go to him. And then it's like, after I go to him, somehow it works itself out again. And I'm just like, "Huh, why don't I do this at the very beginning?" You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Paul asking that question of, why don't I do the things I wanna do and don't do the things that I do wanna do?
Mhm.
I'm just like,
Like we did a whole devotional on not not choosing God last
mm,
and putting him at the forefront of our minds, and yet
yeah.
we still struggle
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
Kaylani even mentioned, she said, "Yeah, every time I shake my head at the Israelites, I'm reminded that I'm the same. I just keep repeating the same cycle." Oh my gosh, man, like 100%. Like that the Israelites, man, they God would deliver them, and then they would go and start worshiping a golden calf, and then God would come punish them, and then he'd rescue them, and then like they kept in this cycle. And I'm just like,
Excuse
man,
me.
what a wild thing to be taken care of and to be rescued by God, and then and then for us to go wander off again, and then think that something
Like
else
man,
is
that
gonna
was
fix it, and then go to and then God has to intervene again.
like man,
Well,
that was wild.
yeah,
Chosen doesn't even.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and that's what I love. I mean, I'm sorry. I'll rephrase that. It's not what I love about it, but that's what I thought was
No, no, no,
absolutely
you're good.
hilarious. You did. I can't take it back now. It's live. About the story of Gideon, like how he did all of these magnificent things with the power of God over and over and over again. Just couldn't explain it any other way. Ended, and they went right back to Baal, like immediately. Like that. And that's just how it ends. Like, all
Yeah.
right.
Uh, yeah. I think we're also guilty of that, man. Like, we're still, and that's the crazy thing is, like, I don't, no matter where you're at in your walk, you're still learning. You know what I mean? Like, there's still those aha moments of going, oh, yeah, like, duh,
I did it
I
again.
did it again. When am I going to learn? You know? Mm, but
Yep.
luckily, he's got, more grace in him than sin in us. And luckily, I remind myself every day of this, but his mercies are new every morning. So every day I wake up, I'm like, thank you for your mercy. Because I I I need it. Thank you. You know.
So I mean, you're being literal when you say thank you for this day.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
like in his wrath, he could he could end my life at any point if he wanted to. And
Hmm.
I'm very cognizant of that. Like I know that when he wakes me up in the morning, I'm thankful for that. Like, thank you for waking us up today. Like, thank you. Um, because that we're all on borrowed time. Like, we're stewards of all the blessings he's given us, but we're also stewards of the time that he's given us. And it's like, how am I going to spend that time? So,
And the sad part is, I mean, dependent on how long you, everyone else, you know, is alive. I mean, I could have potentially already wasted half of my life. So what am I gonna how what am I gonna do with the other half?
mm, kingdom work, man. That's what we're supposed to be
Yep.
doing. Kingdom
Yep.
work. Actually, I find a lot of joy in that. Like now there's a purpose. Like I have a purpose no matter what situation I'm in. The purpose never goes away. It's still the same purpose. Whether my situation is living in a box or whether my situation is doing well, my purpose is still the same. And I think that's a fantastic thing. to know that we live a purpose-driven life. And I'm pretty sure that's a book. It seems so familiar. Purpose-driven life. I don't know.
Hey, back up Google. Hold on. Purpose.
What
See,
is?
even
What
see,
is
even I have a purpose on the Facebook side.
Connect streaming software? I don't understand. Well, sorry, Facebook.
It,
Huh.
it was just me in there.
All right. Well.
Oh, it's back
Oh,
up.
cancel.
It's back up.
I just hit in live video too.
Oh,
I left it up.
okay. Well,
I was able to cancel it. So
okay. Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
back.
all right. So
Hey,
let's wrap this one up. I don't really have much else to talk about discouragement. I think every one of us have put a lot of thought and perspective and a lot of talking behind this one. Just as a subject in general. And it's a little bit sometimes it's harder to form thoughts after you've talked about it for 2 days straight sometimes. You know what I mean? But I
I was gonna say
know
we. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the best thing that sometimes we can do is to shut up, right? Like, uh, and it's not shutting up. It's just, let's leave this devotional there for people, for them to go back and read if they want to. We always put the link to the devotional in the comments and the description. So if you want to go and spend some time in this one and do a deeper dive and find some other Bible verses that relate to this, if this is something you struggle with, by all means, like, we're just here to give an opportunity for people to go through these with us. And sometimes we won't always have words, and that's okay. Like, sometimes there's not a lot more we can say. But that doesn't mean it's still not for you or for whoever's listening or whatever the case is. So, I don't feel discouraged in that area because I know that even Zach and Justin have both told me that some of their greatest, or not their greatest, they don't use that term, but some of the most impactful sermons they've preached have been ones that they felt like it wasn't for anybody, or like that it was a flawed sermon, or not flawed. They weren't into it as much. Like, it wasn't just like this all-inspiring sermon. So, but it seems to be the most impactful ones, is what they've told me. So, with that said, who knows? Maybe this will reach the person it needs to be. So, what do y'all think? Any final thoughts? Any words? That way I quit rambling.
If
I
you're
was
feeling
gonna
discouraged and you'd like somebody to talk to, you can reach out to us on social media, leave a comment in YouTube. You can reach out to us on Facebook. If we can't help you, we can direct you to someone who can. You could message our church, Grace Christian Fellowship, on Facebook, or just give them a call. The phone number's on there. If you're feeling discouraged and you need somebody to talk to.
That's good. That's good. I don't think I'm gonna add anything else. I think that's a perfect place to end this discussion on. No more words required. With that said, let's close it out. I'll close it out in prayer, and then we can stick around and chat for a little bit if we want to, or if y'all got things to do, we can end it a little bit early tonight. I'll ask chat, do y'all have any final thoughts that y'all want to share? Anything else that y'all... Zach, sorry, yesterday I read your comments after the stream ended, so sorry I didn't respond, but I want to give you an opportunity. If you have anything else to say, I'll read them after we're done praying. So I'll close this out, and yeah, we'll chat for a little bit. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for being near to us. Thank you for always being near to us. Father, we're thankful that you're near to the brokenhearted and to the crushed in spirit. Father, I pray that when we go through those struggles of discouragement and isolation and all the fruits of discouragement, that we would turn to you, that we would seek you, that we would know that you're near, and that we would stop trying to fix it ourselves, that we would bring it to you first and not last. Father, there's so many things that we're thankful for. The life you've given us, the jobs you've given us, the friendships, the marriage, the kids, the church family that you've blessed us with, the pastors, the people that you brought into our lives, um, just the constant blessings and presence that you have in our lives, Father. But Father, I recognize too that I appreciate the struggles. I appreciate the times that you've allowed things to happen in my life, in our life, that we can look back on and we can see your work in our life. That we grow closer to you in those moments when we turn to you in those dark times and those difficult times. Father, I want to say thank you for the good and the bad times. And Father, that I shared yesterday, that prayer that I started praying to you when you came and got a hold of me. Man, it stands true today. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the joy, and thank you for the pain. And you've given us a beautiful day. Father, I'm very thankful for that. And Father, I pray that you would guide us the rest of this week, that you would be with us, that your presence, we would just feel your presence in an overwhelming way. That you would guide us in all your ways, that you would direct us. Father, help us to be an encouragement to others. Help us to love others the way that you love us, to help us to forgive others the way that you've forgiven us. Help us to care for people the way that you cared for us. And let our lights shine to everybody. Let us be a source of encouragement to each other. Father, thank you for making a way to you through your Son, Jesus, and his death on the cross, and sacrifice for our sins. We're thankful for that, Father, and we love you. Ask all these things in your name. Amen.
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 Well, tomorrow we will be at Grace Christian Fellowship. We'll be live streaming from the church at 6:15. If you want to catch us on there, we'll be on the Grace Christian Fellowship Facebook page, and if it all works, we'll also try to live stream it to the True North YouTube page. As a reminder, also this Friday we have the men's conference, the 1613 men's conference. I have shared the video from Pastor Zach onto the True North page. If you're interested, if you're in the area and you're able to come check it out, I highly encourage you to come check this conference out. It's going to be an amazing time. A lot of really good Christian men, speakers, and a good time to pour into each other. But that happens Friday from 6 to 9, and then Saturday from like 8 to, I can't remember what the hours are on Saturday, but it's all in the video. Go watch the video, Pastor Zach. Oh, here we go. Prozac says, no worries about yesterday. I'm glad I was able to tune in the last couple of days. Hey, we're glad that you have been too, man. Like, it's been weird not having you in here from time to time, so I'm glad that you're able to join. Hey, Danella. Glad that you're still in here. But yeah, so we got those things coming up. Zach, I think, has spoken to a couple of people for the testimonies and got the green light. So finally start planning those out. So expect to hear from me soon if you've been one of those ones that Zach has reached out to. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great week. Like I saw a thing that was kind of discouraging today. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna read this real quick, just because it's kind of played into what we've been talking about in the past couple days. It says the Presbyterian Church USA, America's largest Presbyterian denomination, has voted 441 to 30 to support access to transgender surgeries, including for children. The denomination calls it gender affirming care. So we need to keep our brothers and sisters in Christ in our prayers as well. From what Pastor Justin was saying, the Methodist Church went through something like this not long ago as well. So, yeah, what a crazy time.
I tried spelling Presbyterian, and I apparently absolutely butchered it because it autocorrected to permethrin.
Oh, that's good. Picks off.
Presbyterian.
So you know
There we
how
go.
in
Got it.
eschatology it talks about it'll be the same as the days of Noah. So I was like, what was it like in the days of Noah? So I actually Googled it earlier and I was like, what was going on in the days of Noah? And this is what came up. It says, according to the biblical account, the days of Noah were characterized by rampant wickedness and spiritual apathy. People went about their normal routines, eating, drinking, and marrying, completely ignoring God's warnings. Ultimately, God sent a cataclysmic global flood to wipe out the corrupt generation, sparing only Noah, his family, and animals aboard a massive ark. And like the moral corruption that was going on in the days of Noah. And I'm just looking around going, guys, we should probably heed this warning from like, I don't know, Noah's time. You know what I mean? But I think it was just funny. Like people went about their normal routines, eating, drinking, and marrying.
Noah was such a prude.
Yeah, it says the corruption of humanity was so severe. This is from Got Questions. The corruption of humanity was so severe that the biblical text notes every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
That's a lot of intents.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, kind of crazy.
They said they're also including children into that.
Huh?
It's especially sad that they're including children into that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of things in this article that I was just like, what? You know what I mean?
Like, I don't affirm, I don't condone X, Y, and Z words for consenting age.
Have a great night, Zach.
Of said things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you're an adult, you can make your own choices. If you want to make those decisions and step that much further away from God, then that's your free will.
Yeah.
But don't put it on children.
Right.
Like
Yes. At that point, it's not them making the decision; it's
No.
their parents making the decision for them.
And
correct.
I want to
And
go ahead.
These are the same people who accuse us of like brainwashing our children by homeschooling them, and then can spend their children's entire childhood convincing them that they're trans.
Yeah.
And that's what saddens me, is because it's the kids that are in those homes that grow up with those ideas, and they're just confused. They're confused all the time.
I wanted to read something. Christian author Virgil Walker addressed the vote in Decision Magazine, the official publication of the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. His analysis cuts to the heart of what this vote actually represents. It says when a denomination votes to bless what God calls sin, the vote itself is not the real story. The real story is a church that has decided the spirit of the age gets the final word instead of the word that made the age. That decision
Yeah.
was settled long before any ballot was counted. He continued, Scripture does not leave us guessing about who we are. Genesis tells us God made us male and female in his own image, and he called his handiwork very good. A church that can no longer say so has stopped listening to the one it claims to serve and begun echoing the culture it was sent to reach. And I was like, man, like, that guy has very good words. Like, he summed it up very well.
That's one of those things, we've talked about culture before. And yeah, you can read, especially with like the letters of Paul, he may be saying things because of culture, but he's not saying it just to like counteract culture. He's saying it because it's true, and some cultures that he was talking to needed to hear that at that moment.
Yeah.
Right? And that the message is true regardless of the culture. It's just that some people didn't need to hear it, and that's why you have different subject matter in some of the different letters.
Yeah.
And the saddest part, man, I mean, the kids being involved is probably it's the saddest part. But next level up from that is the fact that it wasn't even a close vote, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, those 30 people that voted against it, they need to be finding a new denomination like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That should be an abandoned ship kind of wake up call there. That only 30 people of the deciding votes said no. Like, those are the 30 people that we should really keep at the top of our prayers, but we should also be praying just in general for the Big C Church. Because
if it wasn't a wake-up call at the end, it should have been a wake-up call of why are we even voting on this?
Right. That should have never been something that was entertained. It's unfortunate, man.
It is. We're in a very wicked world in these times.
Yes, we are. The days of Noah.
Yeah.
And because that's what made me go through this again today. I was like, days of Noah. Does this look like the days of Noah? And sure enough, yes, it does.
I mean, the weird part is I was initially comforted because we have the promise of God that he will never wipe out his people in that same manner, right? Okay, I'll say this. Correct me or stop me at a point that I'm speaking wrong. But the rainbow is a symbolization of God's promise that he will not wipe out his people in the form of a flood. Correct?
Yeah. And
Okay,
there's people out there
so-
challenging him to brand new, ways of destroying them. Right?
That's what I was gonna say is, yes, he promised us not a flood, but there's so much worse ways to go.
Yeah.
There's so much worse ways to go.
You got to think, like, in the end, it says there'll be natural disasters of all kind, famine across the world. Like, bro, like, he can do so.
Look at Michigan. We're starting to get tornadoes, floods, and freezing rain out of nowhere.
Look at that earthquake that just hit, that dominoed all those buildings. Where was that? Does anybody remember where that was?
I can't remember. Hold on.
It was just recently. And like, there's videos of buildings just dominoing on top of each other. Oh, it's so bad. It wrecked a lot of.
That's not right. Are you talking about the one in the Philippines? Venezuela?
Might have been in Venezuela.
South Sandwich Islands?
Wait, what?
I want to move there.
Is there a taco island where people just walk around eating tacos?
Is this like a Virginia thing where there's a South Sandwich and a North Sandwich Islands?
one likes Rubens, the other one doesn't, and they're constantly in battle over it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to bring humor into it.
No, I'm glad you did. All
Oh,
right. Well, everybody, I appreciate you tuning in tonight and hanging out with us as we go through another devotional, and hopefully it spoke to you. And if you needed it, I'm glad that we were able to present it to you. We're just taking, In Touch Ministry stuff and using that as a good message to follow. So hopefully you took something from it. Again, we'll be back. Well, we'll be on the Grace Christian Fellowship page at 6:15 tomorrow if you want to catch us with Pastor Zach as we go into his 2 Timothy deeper dive series. It's always a great conversation. He's got a lot of insight. Should be a good time. So catch us on there if you can. Until next time, we'll see you later. Adios.
have a blessed night, everybody.
Bye-bye.